morning, friends. Jess here. We are kicking off PowerSheets Prep Day, and I'm going to walk you through my PowerSheets Prep for February. First step is to flip back through your goals for the year so that you know where to start. I love our gold foil tab stickers, so if you're getting a set of 6-month PowerSheets, I recommend adding these on. This is new in the PowerSheets Prep Work, and I love that one of the first things you're encouraged to do is to look at your calendar. So that's what I'm doing now. One of my January goals was to plan out editorial content for Q1 for the Cultivate What Matters blog, and you'll see I actually did it through the first half of the year, so I extended my progress bar. But that means my focal goal for the month of February will be writing that content, which I'm really excited about. I just realized that I forgot to clarify that I'm using 2 sets of PowerSheets this year, so this teal 6-month set is just for my work goals, and then I have a 1-year one for personal goals. So that's why you're only going to see work things on these. You do not need 2 sets of PowerSheets. I am doing this just because I learned last year that it was really hard for me to combine the two, especially when I did PowerSheets prep days each month. So I'll probably end up doing my personal PowerSheets prep some point this weekend or one night next week. Okay, now to this brainstorm page, which I love. What I did was I went back to my January goals and saw what I needed to spend more time doing, and I just wrote those out. So these are the things I'm going to focus on for February. At the bottom, there's also a great description of how to assign your goals as a monthly, weekly, or daily goal. So if you're having some trouble figuring out which category your goal should fall in, definitely read this. So one of my goals for the year is to create meaningful content for CWM, both on the blog and social and other areas. And one thing that I'm realizing is in order to do that, I need to start blocking off writing times. So you'll see here, this month I'm going to try Friday writing blocks just because we work remotely on Fridays, and I've already added it to the calendar that I will be offline and just working on writing a lot of blog posts. The noise that you hear in the background is actually my space heater because I wrote today I'm feeling cold. So I got the space heater out. So this is a goal that I moved over from January, 5 notes to customers that I really enjoy doing. I just have been picking some people who place orders and writing them postcards or notes just to thank them. I, like always, need some suggestions for what to put in my encouraging words section. So send them my way if you have any great encouraging words for February. Because these are my work goals, I go ahead and just mark off Saturday and Sunday for my daily goals so that it doesn't confuse me. And I also write the dates of the week above them too. I've actually gotten a few questions recently about where the stickers are. Everyone in the back of their workbook, whether you have a 6-month or a 1-year set, has 2 pages of awesome stickers, so make sure you are using those. I'm also pulling some stickers from our Cultivate What Matters sticker book. Alright guys, I am done with my goals for February. Feel free to send me an email or shoot me a direct message if you have any questions about them. I'd be happy to answer.
Hi friends, I am on my January attending list and I just have some progress bars that need filling in over here. There are a couple other things that need to be checked off that I'm going to work on today too. Okay, now I'm moving on to February. I went ahead and put in my tab stickers, and something that's helped me is that I paper clip them to the back of my PowerSheets, so they're always there when I need them. Funny story, you guys might notice that our months are out of order on our tab stickers. When we sent these into print, they were in a very different format, and our printer reformatted them for us into a long sheet, and they're a little out of sorts. Does anyone else feel this way in January? I am just so excited because February is usually when I get back in the groove after taking a month to just recover from busy season. So you guys know that I like to doodle in my power sheets, but something that I realized today is that it takes a little longer, and that's usually a really great thing because as I'm doodling, more things are coming to mind that I can write down and hash out on this page. This is what happens when you have a brain freeze and forget how to spell February. You just make it up, and then you put a sticker on it. You guys, I always get stuck on encouraging words for some reason. I'm considering just coloring in this entire box orange because I think that would be really encouraging. If you have any suggestions, let me know. Sticker time! I got an imperfect sticker book, so there's like no gold foil on the cover, but I actually really like it. All right, February. Let's do this.
All right, checking out my January goals first, and then I have these gorgeous beauties to help inspire me today. So January is not over yet, and I can see a couple items of my monthly goals and even weekly and daily that can still have progress in these next couple of days. There's a couple that I am going to move over, I know, to February. And taking a cue from someone who did this in the PowerSheets Facebook community, there we go. I'm not good at checking off these daily things. And this one right here, monthly date night, I'm going to stop what I'm doing right now to text my in-laws to babysit for us on Saturday night so this happens. One focal goal or word for February is just being excited about life and loving others around me well. Today I'm feeling productive and happy and grateful, and I'm just hoping that continues. So I was out of ideas for February, and so we're taking the dog for a walk now so we can get creatively refreshed. So here's another tip for you in your PowerSheets prep work. Don't do it on an empty stomach. I just realized that I'm really hungry for lunch, and that's probably why I'm feeling like I can't come up with anything for this next month. As I start to brainstorm things for February, I'm going back a lot to my action plans because a lot of my starting steps are things that I like to put as goals for a month. One place I like to get for encouraging words is my simplified planner. I'm going to use this one for February. All right, I have my tending list set for February. I did it kind of in rainbow colors, though there's not really any rhyme or reason. I just varied it where I did. This sticker right here is my motivation for completing my daily goals list this month, and I'm telling the same to you. You got this.
Hey, it is Stripes Day in our office. So if you see a matching trend between me and my coworkers, there you go. Hi, I'm going to give you an inside peek into my goals from January and what I have coming up in February and a lot of tips. This has been one of my favorite months ever. I've made such great little by little, sometimes imperfect progress on goals that really matter to me, and I've cultivated new habits over the last 31 days with Bible reading and fitness and my family. I started with really good goals, and it's not too late to do that. There's nothing magical about January 1st. February 1st could be your January 1st. Really good goals help to keep you motivated. That's what we all want, right? We want motivation to follow through. If your goal is rooted in something that matters to you and not rooted in comparison or guilt or fear or feeling like you should have a goal, you are far more motivated to make that goal happen and take action. It doesn't matter so much how you make a goal happen. Your method doesn't matter as much as why you're doing it in the first place. And that's what I learned this month and practiced. Here are my goals for January. One of my goals was to establish new habits to seek light, and that meant with fitness and Bible reading. And if you've been following my Instagram stories, you know I've tried a lot of different things to try to make those two things happen. Be flexible about how you make the goals happen, meaning try a bunch of different things. With memorizing good words for goal number 3, I'm memorizing Bible verses about complaining and where good words come from so I can combat that in my own life. And January was really my month to get my feet wet and try different things and see what stuck. So for this goal, I tried flashcards, I tried screenshots on my iPhone, I tried printing them, and finally one of those methods really stuck and Now, you know what I would have done before? I would have set out with a plan, a perfectly written plan for some of these goals, and I would not have been very flexible about my methods and how I made these happen, and I would have felt guilty because I didn't follow the plan. Now, y'all hear me on this. Planning is good, and intentional forethought can go a long way. But don't get stuck in the planning. Don't get stuck in perfect plans and lose the ability to see an even better way forward. All my planner friends out there, I know that you get stuck in this, and I do too sometimes. We get stuck in planning instead of planting. So here's my question for you. Are you planning an intentional life, or are you planting one? So here's my progress. I didn't fully complete memorizing the good words for goal number 3. I realized that that was going to take me a lot longer. And so that's part of learning to cultivate what matters, is sometimes things take longer to grow, and that's okay. So I had put on the calendar for Ari and Grace to check me on my scripture memorization, but that just took longer. So we are just going to move that one over to the next month. And y'all, again, it's okay. So if a goal took longer than you thought, or you want to keep growing something, here's a tip. No matter what system you're using, PowerSheets or anything, just move it to the next month. I'm marking the ones right now that I'm going to move to the next month, or things that I just want to keep going on. Throughout the month of January, if I thought of a goal that I wanted to tackle in February, or something that I didn't have time for in January, I went ahead and flipped over to my Brainstorm page for February and added a note there. Now, y'all know I'm all for simplicity. I like having one place to keep everything. And I didn't understand when some of my team members decided to use 2 sets of PowerSheets, one for personal and one for business goals, until this month. I realized I needed a place to put those. Personal and business goals are deeply connected to me. They all come from the same heart. They're for the same big picture purpose for me, but I needed a place to get a little bit. So let's talk about February. I don't know about where you live, but February around here is a little bit dreary. It is one of the coldest months for us, and it can be a little wonky, is a good word. So, dear February, I'm coming after you with buckets and buckets of extra light for this sometimes dreary month. And I'm about to do my February PowerSheets, and I hope that is evident when you see them. February is also wonky because of a certain day. The day after Valentine's Day is typically, statistically, when gym membership attendance goes down and fast food consumption goes up. I am not a statistician, but I am a careful observer, and I have observed that in January we tend to burn ourselves out with all the forward motion. So, how are you going to prepare to not do that? We do PowerSheets together as a team to set our goals for each month. And yesterday we talked about how there's so much we want to do and accomplish in February and be productive with. But knowing that, and knowing that statistic I just told you, we know we also have to balance it. So join me today. Whether you use PowerSheets or not, prepare well. Look at your calendar, look ahead, and make room. Make margin for the meaningful, for good things to be able to flourish in February. This is for you, Diana. You asked how to stay motivated after setbacks. Here's a question for you. What if setbacks are actually part of the plan? What if those things were meant to teach us and grow us and to renew our passion for that goal? We also get hung up on how fast we're achieving something. But what if fast isn't the goal? The speed at which you get to a goal is not as important as what you're growing. Allison from Blessed Events, you asked about pressing flowers. It is so easy. All you do is get some parchment paper and you press the flowers in between layers of parchment paper in really heavy books for several weeks. If you have a question, I'm happy to answer. Use the comments on my Instagram post or send me an email through my website. But friends, I do not check my Instagram direct messages. I can't manage that effectively or efficiently, so use those other things.